Coach, another game that shows you guys are so close, just haven't quite gotten over that hump and into that losing streak. When you're looking back at the film and you're talking to your players and your coaches, what do you think this team and this program has to do to get over that hump and win those games?
Yeah, there's so many plays inside the game that can create a different outcome. You know, I talked about it a little bit post game, but one of the biggest frustrations that I had after the game was that we didn't take control of the game in the first 3 drives of the game. Like the 0 to negative plays when we had the opportunities to score on 1st and 10 in plus territory, or hand the ball off and gain 2 yards when it's blocked to score a touchdown, and then end up 3rd and 8 sack punt. That's the 2nd drive of the game. The 3rd drive of the game, you have the ability to go pick up 2 first downs with 1st and 10 at the plus 39-yard line, and we have some real issues that we've got to take out of our game, and we end up not converting on a 4th down. And we should have had a 1st down on 1st down, and should have dang sure had a 1st down on 2nd down. And again, we don't execute. That's the first 3 drives of the game, to where right now, man, on the 3rd drive of the game, you're 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line, worst case scenario. You have to be able to take advantage of those moments, to take control of the football game. 4th drive, we end up going 3 and out. We're in a really good situation, positive plays, 1st and 2nd down, we go 3 and out on the 4th drive. 5th drive, we get a turnover, we go right down the field, and we 2nd and 6, and we fumble the football. And then the next drive, we go right down the field, we're 1st and 10 to the 17, we end up 3rd and 16. And we miss a 41-yard field goal. That's the first half. Like, all these opportunities to take control of the first half of the game because of how we play defensively, and we don't do it. You know, there's the way the game ended is frustrating, to say the least. But there's so many moments to where, man, you take control and you never put yourself in that situation.
Kyle?
Kind of in that same vein, I mean, externally, a lot of blame is placed on Blake for that last play, but if you look at his game, he's had one of his more prolific performances this season. He was really efficient again. How have you guys kind of gone about evaluating that performance and reigniting the passing offense?
Yeah, he's frustrated. He's down because of the fact of the outcome wasn't what we wanted. There's a bunch of plays inside the game where he understands that if we do exactly what we need to go do, we take full control of the game. And so the ending of it is, again, it's got all the attention because of the outcome of the game. And he understands that. That's part of playing the position. It's part of being the head football coach. That comes with it. And there's great frustration. Man, we're trying to build on all the positives and how tough this guy's playing and how we were able to create explosives and pitch and catch and play in rhythm. But we got to finish drives, and we've got to score now. I've talked about that. Talked to the defense about making the offense snap it again. We've got to score when we have the ability, so we don't have to snap it again. And that's huge for us moving forward.
Coach, obviously this program had struggles last year, and then this year it's and being a lot more competitive, but struggling, like Robbie said, to get over that hump. You know, I've heard a lot of coaches say before that players have to learn how to win, and whether that's coaches making the right call or players stepping up at the right time to make the right play to change the game. How true do you think that is as far as players having to learn how to win?
Yeah, I mean, there's without a doubt something to that. I know for me and for us in this building, there's been zero talk of last year. That's not this year's football team. Like, you think about improvement, how much better, like the way we're playing the game right now, it's not even the same spectrum. So that's the stress for our guys is there's a lot of noise from what I've been told and through text messages that I receive. They're like incredibly supportive. I'm like, guys, we're 4-3. We're two plays away from being 6-1. We're not. Like, we've lost those games. We've been on the wrong side of it. I'm focused on this team. What's happened has happened. All right, but the guys sitting in this meeting room every single day, it's night and day. And there's been an unbelievable amount of improvement. And now we need to find a way to go win the game. And that's a very real thing. finding ways to get better every week. That's what good football teams do. I do think that we've gotten better from week 1 to right now. We got a great football team coming in here Saturday. Man, all's going to get right in the world if we'll find a way to go be +1.
We saw Kamario play a little bit more Saturday, and when you look at what he can get done as far as the playbook, how much do you trust him as far as, we haven't seen him throw the ball a lot in meaningful reps, but how much do you kind of trust him with that outside of just running the ball?
I do trust him. I wanted him a couple of times to do that in that situation, you know, on Saturday. And I think for him, he's, because of being so young, right, and he knows what he can do with his legs, he wants to be able to go make the play with his feet right now. My effort is, man, you have the ability to have the right picture on the perimeter, trust yourself right now, right? And that's going to help him and help us. And he knows that. He wants a couple of them back inside that series. That's the series I'm talking about. We're 1st and 10, plus 39-yard line. We go 4 downs, and it should never happen when you sit down and you watch the tape, but it did. So there's great learning moments in that for us. Again, that's the 3rd drive of the game that gives us the ability to have real control.
Jason. Coach Sark said this past week that their team identity has been defense and special teams, and a lot of people don't talk about special teams. So what have you seen from them? I know they have a really good return game, but in all facets, what makes them so difficult on special teams? They're
really aggressive, and they've got great personnel. Like, when you have great personnel, you got a real chance to be great on teams. And they've recruited in an incredible way. They've got great depth on their roster, and so they, you know, have posed some problems that way. And right now they're a team that's really played to their identity, and they have played great defense. I think they're top 3 in the country in scoring, top 5 in total defense. They've been great situationally. They've created turnovers, but then they've been really, really good on teams. We've played winning football on special teams. The 2 penalties from Saturday, you take that out, we're plus 55 in hidden yardage. But again, the 2 penalties happen. You know, Duke's not on the line of scrimmage, which is a strange call, didn't get a warning, but that's part of it too, where we pin the guys inside the 10-yard line, instead have to punt it again. We do a great job, and you know, we go down and end up getting the 5 and out, but they get the ball at the 28-yard line. We lose right at 20 yards of hidden yardage. So I love how we're playing on teams. I think our guys are doing a great job. Frustrated with the first kickoff of the game and the field goal, obviously, the other day. But outside of those 2 things, man, we've played really well. So it'll be a great matchup from that standpoint.
Sam.
Yeah, with Arch Manning, what have you just seen out of him as a full-time starter, and how much different at all is it from when you played him last season?
Yeah, I think what they're doing right now, I kind of just mentioned that they're playing to who they are. And they're trying to protect the ball. They're trying to be incredibly high percentage, very, very timely when they're pushing the ball down the field and giving him a ton of freedom to go run the offense. I think Sark understands exactly who they are defensively, and they've been really, really good. And so for them, I think it's about running the football at a really high level, being able to have some play pass in it, and then taking great care of the ball.
Mentioning the field goal, you mentioned on the post game that they said it was not a reviewable play.
Yeah.
Decision on that. Have you looked into that further?
Yeah, I've been told it's not, because again, what I was told is it did. It went right over the upright. I think as I've watched the tape, it's pretty fair, and they did. They said that not reviewable, and as it goes right over the top of the upright, what I got told was no good.
And did that factor into the later decision about trying to get 6 or 7 more yards for Kyle to kick?
Obviously, we want to put Kyle in the best situation possible. I got a lot of faith in Kyle, a lot of confidence. We miss a 41-yarder going that direction on the exact same hash, and I want to try to create a really good opportunity for him to go win the game. And we have a little bit of time to go do it, but we don't have a timeout, and so that's all of those things factor in.
Sam.
Do you just have any new updates on Fluff, and if he could play this week?
Fluff's going to be day to day. You know, I'm really thankful. He's had a great week. He had a great week last week just from a rehab standpoint. I think it's a real stretch that he's ready, and we'll let the Wednesday report and so on speak to that as we move through the week.
Danny.
Coach Durant has kind of moved up the tackle chart, and he's quietly kind of led this team in tackles. What have you seen from him that's led him to do that?
And he's active. He got great instincts. He can diagnose. He plays fast. Guy loves to play the game, and proud of J-Man. He's done a really good job. He's been a great addition to our defense, and he'll continue to play that way.
We'll go to Colin, Robbie, Haydad down the line.
Kind of, adding on top of that, Brilo had a really good game with a couple of picks, and the defensive backs in general really stood out for you this year. How much does that help as you try and tinker with the defensive line to dial up some more pressure, that you can trust those guys back there to make plays?
Yeah, I think it's huge. The way we're defending the throw game right now is really, really good. We've got our hands on the ball. We've made plays. We've created turnovers. That's a huge thing. The stress for us is continuing to find ways to tackle better, play cleaner and more detailed in the core, to not bleed as much as we've bled in the run game. But again, we're playing really good red zone defense. We're creating turnovers. We've been really good against the throw. We've got so much to build on. But I'm proud of how we're playing with that unit.
Robbie.
We talked about getting over that hump and winning these games,
Yeah.
but how much confidence do you have when you look at the SEC and see how competitive it is week to week, and there's not a whole lot of teams that are just far and away better than everybody else, that you guys have those opportunities ahead?
Yeah, they're out there in front of us. And again, our guys understand that. As we got back in the building this morning and watched the tape, again, not to short anybody, but we've got all kinds of opportunities to come out on the right side. And again, we don't. It's time to take that step for us. But this team is this team, and it's got nothing to do with any years in the past, nothing like that. And so it's about finding a way to go 1-0 Saturday and get to 5-3. And we're going to be good enough to do it, but we got to go play really well. And we got a great opponent coming in here with a great staff, and there's been great stability on both sides of the ball and special teams there for a long time since Sark's been there. He's had the same guys, and again, a credit to him because of how he's built it. But we're ready to go win a football game, and our guys are working towards it.
When you were talking about Kamario, needing to trust himself, is there a difference in the way you help him as a coach versus the way you help him as a play caller?
Yeah, I think for us, being able to give him the pictures during the week, and then, man, go cut it loose and go play. If I'm giving you the ability to throw the ball around when we've got some of the run stuff called, then there's some answers in the throw game that you have the ability to get to. Trust yourself and go do it. But that's a young guy having to go play and go live it and go learn. I want to constantly put him in great positions so that he can create confidence for himself, our football team, and then everything goes from there. So it's constant because he hadn't played a ton of ball, but obviously excited about his growth and where he's headed.
Anything else for Coach? Sam.
Reach.
Just with Zachary Tillman being suspended, how do you think that's just going to impact the defense in the first half?
Yeah, I think that the only thing that is fortunate for us there is that we've had two other dimes play a ton of football with Tyler and DG. And so having those two guys, we're in a great spot at that position. There's depth. We have athletic, talented players at that spot. And so those two guys got to have a great week as we get ready to get Zachary back in the second half.
What was that teaching moment like with him on the sidelines the other day? It was a critical possession later in the game. Saw you talking to him on the sidelines. What was that conversation like with Zachary after the penalty?
Yeah, just there's great frustration in that moment because we're off the field. They never kicked the field goal, and it's critical. Like, it brings me back to there was a huge drive against Tennessee where we give them 30 yards in penalties and give them points, and it comes down to the last possession of the game. Like, we're playing good enough. We got to get out of our own way in those moments because I think we're fully aware those 3 points mattered. And that affects the game in a great way. So a great learning lesson. The hope was that, you know, we saw that with Nick Mitch 3 weeks ago, and we learned from that. But again, it's those guys, man, learning from it, taking it completely out of our game, and understanding the impact that it truly has on being on the right side and the wrong side.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.